Hey, folks, I do feel like talking. It's a Saturday morning. It's the second to the last day of 2023. Cheers. This is a good bag, Bill, of coffee. Thank you for sending it to me. Thank you so much. Mm, mm, mm. It's nice how certain tastes I don't get tired of. Another thing is because it's human nature. You kind of rotate them out. You can only eat so many items. Before it's like, well, we got to switch this up. What's going on, people? How you doing? I think really the best way to describe where I'm at today is I'm feeling really, really pretty thankful. And just, yeah. I got some records to show. I did go to the record store and buy a couple of used records, nothing new. But some personal stuff and some music stuff. So Floyd did not go home yesterday. He'll go home today. Thank you for your concern and interest and love. Floyd is a special person. He is, forever young at heart, a real optimist, and a real believer in humanity. He and I have had some very interesting conversations. Some of the way that I see the world is not the way he sees it, and it's good to have someone that positive or hopeful in my life. Because you know what I think. To get it out of the way, I haven't posted it yet, but most likely the statement I want to post on Instagram and Twitter today is, what is politics good for? What does politics do best? Three D's: division, destruction, death. I don't want to hear no shit about, but all this other stuff. They don't compare to the destruction that politics is wreaking on the world as we speak, as we live. Excuse me. So, if you follow me on Facebook, you see my latest pictures of me with Nick and Kat's little daughter Faye. She has just captivated my heart. I love people. I love children. I do. I do. They get on my nerves. I mean, if that's real, but I love life and I love children. And we visited yesterday. I went over and got paid yesterday. I didn't the day before. They didn't have to pay me that money. I am so thankful. That means a lot to me. I didn't have to play a note except here at the house, and they paid me that. I ain't saying. I'm very happy. Much needed. I need that money. I do. And I celebrated by going to the record store and spending less than $100, okay? Always worried about something happening, and you gotta have money for it. Anyway, I'm very thankful for my friendship with Nick and Kat. I met Nick when he was a kid, and he's a man now, and he is one of my best friends. Truly a friend. So yesterday I listened to this all the way through. This is not vinyl. This is a CD. It's the limited edition version of Sweet Revenge by Ryuichi Sakamoto. This is one of my proudest things that I bought while in Japan in '94. To buy this I think I bought it in Tower, and I like this album even more now. When I first got it, there were certain So, okay, Dereck. Parts of the album that did not resonate. What's up with me today? Okay. Okay. Just dropped a sticker and it's disappeared. You know how you'll drop things and they'll just go in a certain way? But this is fantastic and it's very romantic. That's what, I was not really connecting with. It's beautiful. Anna, the only track that's on there, not on the American, is my favorite. Totally seductive and romantic. I love it. It just makes me feel good. But I hear that it's a romantic piece of love music. We lost a lot of great people this year. Sakamoto was a huge loss. A huge loss for the world, as well as for me personally. Now this is going to mess with me. There it is. See, little things like that will mess with me. It's like it dropped right here, but it ends up underneath the desk, underneath the trash can. How did it get there? Pardon me. I didn't work with Hank Red this week, but I heard from him, and maybe we'll work next week. So I'm kind of just waking up and just going, okay. Whatever popped up in my head is coming out. Musically, this is what's up. I think it was a fellow named Eddie who sent me some Enslaved. Not this one, but I really like this band from Europe. I forget exactly where they're from. Not Iceland. They're up there somewhere in those Nordic countries. But Retir, Enslaved. I listened to 3 out of 4 sides of this because I really like this band. Don't mind the vocals. What the fuck are you talking about, man? Get that shit out of your throat. I love this music. And I love the contrast of the straight vocals, the non-garbled vocals. Beautiful copper color. A bit noisy pressing, though. But this is powerful music, and I have several of their albums. I like them all. Enslaved. I'm not directly Nordic, but the ways that I respond to this music, as well as music more directly tied to what is more obviously my ethnic roots, it's to me an outgrowth of what I feel, which is I am a citizen of this planet, of this universe. What exists is one thing, and I am part of it. So this music is as much me as anything that is a whole lot more black on the surface. See, it's the surface that fools us. If you go deeper, and it's all just one thing. And I'm not into this idea of the Matrix at all. No, the Matrix, it's a cool movie, but to me, consciousness means literally everything, including everything that we can't perceive, including dark energy and dark matter, and the rest of what may potentially exist. Because, see, we think we can only think about what we can perceive. The universe doesn't end. We just can't see very far. That's also why this idea that consciousness is the basis of everything. It's like, is anything really there if there's no one to observe it? If there's no living entity observing and interacting, does anything exist? And it's like, we can't answer the question. We can't really know. Paul, this came out this year. Jon Hassell, rest in peace. His label that's still going released some posthumous live recordings. I bought both. This is one, The Living City. There are some flaws in this live recording, but it's like it's all we got. There's some instruments that go out of tune during the performance, but they keep going. I really notice out of tune stuff. But Jon Hassell is a real inspiration to me. He created his own fourth world of music. And he really did. Very, very influential. So I picked up 3 records, nice and cheap at the record store, Homer's yesterday. The most expensive was this one. This 12-inch of Computer Welt by Kraftwerk. I collect them. I do. I collect Kraftwerk, so I pick up stuff. And I was surprised. This is a different mix. It's a different mix. So I'm very happy. You know, enjoy. I love this band. It got me to pull the album that it came from, Computer World, because, and I did an A/B with the CD, which I bought ages ago. This is a German, made in Germany, isn't it? Yep, it's a German-made CD. Because I have an original pressing of this, but when these reissues came out in different colors, of course I was, and the big booklets and the artwork reproduced so nicely, I said, yeah, I'm a sucker, I want one. I love this color. I don't like these pressings. When I A/B'd it to the CD, the highs are too muted on this. Somebody probably likes this sort of muted, rounded off sound on this. I do not. It's very noticeable, the difference to my ears. And so this 12-inch single pops like I want it to. It's boom. It's crisp. This is slightly muted. And when I put on the 12-inch yesterday, as I was listening to it and hearing how good it sounded, I was thinking, I remember that reissue album sounding this good, and I was right, unfortunately. I'm still glad to have them as collector's items. Here's one from my past where I don't listen much, but there was a time I was really into Frontline Assembly in the 90s, and I never had this album, Corrosion. So, and this is an original. It's been reissued, but this is an original Wax Trax issue of the album Corrosion. Bill Lieb. I have, it's like it's a mood thing, but when I'm in the mood, I really like this stomping, crunching, electronic beat. I like his voice too. And I don't pay attention to the lyrics. I just don't care. I think that was part of why Skinny Puppy has only been a marginal of interest to me. I have owned one of their albums. I've sold it already because that was just a little much for me. I mean, it's pretty good, but Frontline Assembly and Hilt, I like that stuff better. And Download, those projects related to them. Kevin Key, it's good stuff. Here's one. When I saw it in the Instagram update on used records, I was intrigued because I didn't know it. I listened to it online, and I thought to myself, But when I got down there and saw that the price wasn't what I thought it was cheaper than I thought it. I can't always see the stickers in the videos. I went ahead and grabbed it. Akira Itoh, Inner Light of Life. And this is Japanese pressing, no obi, big deal. It's like Kitaro. And that is unfortunate because to me, Kitaro mostly is fluff. Now, I love the fact that this is a Japanese pressing on the King label, and it's in immaculate condition. the pieces on this album, they all start off really good with the sound of water and slowly emerging sounds, but the melodies are very, very, they're like margarine compared to butter. It's like, bruh, I'm telling you, like, I write, and if I would keep moving, if these sort of melodies were coming to me, they would not, it would say, no, this, I gotta find something better. But I bought it. And the other thing that I got there, that was a surprise, but it's again another example of what I said I'm catching that probably a lot of record stores are doing. They are slowly, or maybe it's just me catching up to them doing it. They're putting out their back stock of unsold record store day exclusives. And so I got this. I forgot about this. Anywhere. And this is Anywhere number 2. It's not a super group. It's a project, I think, led by the guy from the Mars Volta. But people like Chris Novoselic from Nirvana are on here. Mike Watt, whose show I'm going to be on, he's on here. Dale Crover of the Melvins plays. And there's other names that I know, but I'm not right away, okay? And this is, came out in 2017. This has a real, what I call hippie vibe. Laid back, kind of jammy, some bongos. Things are kind of modal, where they just kind of just slowly move along, and maybe it builds up, maybe it doesn't, but it catches a vibe. Interesting that it's a pastiche of the Atlantic label. Nice vinyl. This was the surprise of yesterday, and I like it. And yeah, it's cool. Mike Watt. I'm looking forward to being on his show in a few months on the Mike Watt from Pedro podcast. As I told you, this new Florian Arbenz is real good. Played it again. It's real good. A couple days ago was Edgar Winter's birthday. Johnny Winter's younger brother. This is his debut album, Entrance. If you've never heard this, proggers, you're missing. 1970. This is a tour de force of Edgar Winter showing just how talented and musically adept he is. This is orchestral in some ways. The writing is fantastic. It's very progressive. It's so good. In particular, the first side, that Winter's Dream is what it is. It's a concept piece. Winter's Dream. Everything is connected. It's so good that by the time we get to the second side and he proves his roots by doing Tobacco Road, it's like, I always skip it. Yeah, you and Johnny could play the hell out of the blues. The blues belongs to everybody. I'm sick of the motherfucking blues. So I do not listen to that. And then right after it, we're back on track with Jump Right Out. It's like, when you can write like this, you don't need to play the blues. That's my position. I'm fucking fed up with the blues. The blues is like, yeah, y'all, I get an attitude. I do. That album's excellent. Edgar Winter. I never bought, they only come out at night, never bought it, but I ended up with a copy somehow. Don't have it now. This is a 12-inch single. 12-inch singles don't generally go up in value to collectors, but these have. I'm glad that I was able to get this years ago when I did. You Made Me Realize by My Bloody Valentine. What an image. The knife and the eyes. They don't look like Bliss to me. It's like something's going on here. This is fantastic. I love My Bloody Valentine. And they didn't start shoegaze, no. But what they did with being inspired by Jesus and Mary Chain took it to a whole new place. I love this. when they got back together, I traveled with my friend Frank to Chicago to see them live at the Agora Ballroom. Oh man, very memorable. When they did You Made Me Realize, they did the Wall of Sound. Some people have talked about how they would play it for as long as 10 minutes. When we saw them, they did it for over 20 minutes. It was incredible. They did it for so long that I had time to get up out of my seat and make my way down to the main floor, all the way up to the front. And I stood right in front of one of the PA speakers. I had earplugs so I could get the literal audio massage. It was wonderful. My Bloody Valentine. Fantastic. I'll keep going till I showed you everything I've played. Played a bit of David Bowie's Low. This is the orange vinyl version. I do have an original. Thank you to someone in the VC sent it to me. Someone sent me an original copy of Low out of the blue. This is my favorite color, and I just love it. I like to watch. I like to watch it spin. It's so pretty. But I love this album too. So yeah, I've gotten my courage up again to dive back into Sakamoto's music. It is so meaningful to me and just touches me so deeply that when he died, it was really hard to listen for a while. And when I finally got his last album, 12, man, it was an ordeal to get all the way through it. I could feel him literally. The parts where he's playing and plays through the pain, he's improvising. So it's on the album. You can hear it, people. It's like that. But I'm still trying to collect everything I can by him, for no reason except that I love his music. Minamata is a movie soundtrack that he did in recent years. I bothered to watch this movie, which is about the power plant and the health effects on the people. And again, another example of government, politicians, rich people focused on their bottom line. Oh, people are dying. People's lives are being ruined. People are having birth defects. Well, we can't be bothered with that. We had a record year of profits last year. That's the real deal, folks. So I listened to this all the way through because I've seen the movie. Beautiful vinyl. It does recall scenes from the movie. I don't need that, but the movie is that powerful. Sakamoto, what a loss. Anything else? Well, the other thing that I can say that I shared before is this new Peter Gabriel is a masterpiece. He took his time and produced a major work of art here. This touches my soul. Had to talk about it I didn't bring it up when I was visiting Nick and Kat and the baby yesterday. Nick brought it up. And we discussed this at length. This album is deep. And it's very touching, how Peter is sharing the complexity and the whole getting old, growing older, aging, facing impending death. It's on here. And it's in his voice. I've always loved his voice. There's a couple points here where it's like, if you didn't know better, you'd think he's about to break down and just bawl like a baby. But what he's doing is he's just being as naked as he can get himself to be in his voice. I love it. Fantastic album. Fantastic music. So, before I forget, the last thing I want to share is I'm very happy to share that 2 of the albums that I played on this year made best of lists. None of my releases did. Well, actually one did. Interlude. I maintain that the majority of people are not listening to my records when you get them. You're not listening. because it's not connecting. If you take the time, it's there. So I'm really pleased that Woven Territories, the CD that I made with Brian Day, has made a best of list with Squidco. And then I found a couple of reviews that I had not seen before. There's no mention of me in the reviews, but the reviews were positive. Brian Day is the person with the more known musical background, so he's the focus. But the reviews are positive. They get what we did. So that pleases me that it made a best of the year list, and consequently I was able to look and see, oh, there's some reviews. Nice. Also, hats off to Dave Newhouse. His album, Autobiography, from Mana Mirage, the last Mana Mirage project, made a best of the year list. I think it's a Prague blog out of Europe. So that's, I'm very happy about that. You know, I just have to accept my lot with my music. It means the world to me, and I know I'm doing good work. But if for whatever reason it's not connecting with a lot of people, that's just the way it is. But I know my work is good, and I wish I could get more people to actually sit down and listen to it, listen to me. But that's out of my control. But this made a best of the year list. That makes me happy. Family out in California. I'm getting a message right now from my sister Stephanie. What is she saying before I go? I'm about to say, she's saying I miss our Zoom chats, and I'm going to respond to her that I do too. But money got tight on my family, and we couldn't afford the Zoom fee. So hopefully after my sister gets her job going, and hopefully if Karim keeps working, things will even out and we can get back online. I love you all. Let me know how you're doing.